Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is that side character, chapter 31, and this one is titled Up All Night. Gently you reached a hand out to his fringe and pulled it back slightly, just so you could see his eye, and he flinched a little and side-glanced at you. It's okay. I'm not going to pull it right open. I just wanted to see your face, and I wanted to thank you for being my friend, you said, a really gentle and genuine smile pulling at your lips until your eyes crinkled a little. He felt the moment, and so just stayed half looking at you until you let his fringe go. You could only look at him for so long before the butterflies in your tummy turned your arm to jelly, and it made it hard for you to hold your arm up, so you had to drop it down anyway. Kenma, on the other hand, felt a little giddy by your comment, and it left him a little speechless if he was being honest. It was only once you had let his fringe go that he was able to block you out and reply normally again. You're nice to be around, he said softly, and your heart nearly exploded. You sat there smiling down at your toes, all of your fears of sleeping alone long forgotten now that Kenma had said something really nice to you. Happily you just sat there in the silence for a while. The hours slowly ticked on, and you started to yawn heavily, so decided to eat something to stay awake a little more before going to sleep. You want some food? I have food, you said, getting up to retrieve the bag of snacks that was sitting on the kitchen bench. What did you get? He asked, as you rummaged through the plastic bag of goods. Like everything, you name it, and I probably bought it, you said, picking out a packet of something for yourself while you waited for his reply. When you didn't hear back from him in a timely manner, you turned to look at him, and instead of finding him on his PSP, he was looking at you, but was obviously still thinking. But the weird thing was, he was sitting with his knees out and soles of his feet pressed together, but he was wiggling his toes back and forth against the other foot, and it distracted you. What are you doing? You asked with a chuckle as you pointed to his feet. Huh? He asked, looking down and immediately stopping. I don't know. Wait, that's hard to do, right? I'm not good with that timing type thing, so let me see if I can do it. You quickly walked over with your food packet and sat down beside him. Then, putting your feet up onto the lounge too, you copied his position, with soles of feet pressed together. At first you just couldn't quite get the hang of how to wiggle them like he had done, but with a little tutoring from him you finally did it, and you screeched with joy and ripped your food packet open. Let's celebrate my wiggly toes! Here! You picked a morsel out of the packet and held it up to his face. He quickly pulled his head away, but then seeing that you wanted to give it to him, he came back in and opened his mouth so you could put it in. He ate it while looking at you, and it took you a few seconds to register that you'd just fed him some food. From your hand. You made a little noise and then fell sideways away from him, and he looked surprised. What happened? He asked. Nothing, you squeaked out. How's the snack? Good, he replied. Can I have another one? I need the energy for later. Kenma, no! You screeched again, and he jumped with surprise. What is it? No, I'm sorry, my mind is not well. I'm not a well person, you said, trying to fan your face. Why are you acting weird? He asked in a really perplexed voice. Can I please have some more food? Okay, yes, open your mouth, you instructed, where you grabbed for another snack to pop in his mouth. And then that cycle repeated where you got flustered about feeding him while he remained oblivious, and it kept going until you calmed down and could feed him without batting an eye. I am invincible now, you stated as you successfully fed him his 30th food item without batting an eye, and he gave you an odd look, but didn't question you any further. It was now starting to get late, and Kenma figured that you were just tired, and that's why you were suddenly being more strange than usual. Okay, I'm tired now, you announced, standing up. Oh, okay, I'm going to stay up, he said, trying not to watch you as you headed for the bedroom. He didn't want you to feel uncomfortable or anything. Although he had picked up his PSP again and was starting the next level, he was keenly aware of your movements in the other room. He could hear you in the ensuite and then back to the bedroom. Then he heard you hopping up on the bed, and he paused the game for a second to look up and over at the darkened doorway. Do I go and wish her a good night? He thought. Slowly he put his PSP down and got up to walk over to the door. He didn't feel like calling out his good night, as he was a quiet type anyway, so he slowly crept to the door and poked his head through. It was very dark in the room, and he stood for a second to let his eyes adjust in the dark, but he still couldn't make out your form on the bed. He was just about to step in further when someone suddenly jumped onto him from the shadows to his right, and he didn't even have a chance to react. It all happened so quickly. What are you doing? Your voice suddenly assaulted his ears as you crashed down onto him, taking him to the ground. What are you doing there? He stuttered, surprised that you hadn't been in the bed, but hiding off to the side as if waiting for him. Why are you in my room? Oh, it's not your room. We're just staying here until tomorrow. It's my room for now. Now tell me, what were you going to do to me? you asked, holding one palm down onto the side of his head to keep him smushed to the ground. Poor Kenma. Stay tuned for chapter 32, coming tomorrow.